Hey, let me help you understand why I don't think Winston Peters is actually with these two other psychos. Now, I know most of you are thinking, but they're in the coalition together, they're all far right, they're working together. Like, I get that, but you need to take a bit of a closer look, and how we can take a bit of a closer look is through the coalition agreement and what's being done in that coalition agreement, and also just their motives and what their goals are and what they want to do. Luxon is very pro climate change, very pro reduce carbon emissions, go to electricity, very pro that. He's also just a fucking liar, just lying to our teeth, lying through his teeth to us. He's saying things like how we inherited a bad economy, it's all because of COVID, but really, with the housing market, what he's done is he passed through the foreign investment bill, and that allowed BlackRock to buy up all of the sectors of land that there is in New Zealand. Essentially, they bought up all of New Zealand land. And they can afford it too. It's BlackRock, $1 trillion company. $11 trillion. So much land in New Zealand that's not covered. And like so much, like beyond. A lot of areas that aren't farms as well. And this video sums it up quite perfectly, what they've done.
We don't buy these houses to live in. We buy them in bulk, shrinking the number of homes on the open market, skewing mortgage rates, and exacerbating the housing crisis. Then, thanks to low supply, we charge whatever we want for rent. It's all part of our company motto. Fuck you!
Now, on the breakfast show, Winston Peters was asked about these investments, and this is what he had to say. Now, Winston Peters straight up comes out and says, we don't need these globalist investments. And he sees that other countries can handle and manage this themselves. And he also references how it's a suspicion in some capitalism books, when capitalism goes too far, that we might end up being used right when we could have just done it ourselves. It's sort of like the saying, if you pass off all the responsibility you pass off or you don't pick up will be taken up by tyrants and used against you.
Now, there's a good chance you've never heard of BlackRock, but it's been coined the company that owns the world, managing assets worth more than a whopping $16 trillion all up. The multinational firm is also under investigation by US lawmakers who accuse it of facilitating investments into blacklisted Chinese companies, including firms fueling China's military development and companies allegedly linked to human rights abuses. BlackRock denies any wrongdoing, but you can see the issue's a murky one, right? So joining us to share his thoughts is former Foreign Minister Winston Peters. Morning, Mr. Peters. Thank you so much for being with us. Should we be inviting investment firms like this onto New Zealand shores?
Here's the point. This is a globalist solution for New Zealand's national problem. And if it made any sense, then why can't we do it ourselves and pay less for doing it ourselves? Because BlackRock is not a charity.
I think the answer to that, though, is that we don't have any investment firms here that would have nearly the money to be able to invest in these green energies.
Well, with respect, we have the capacity by the fact that 3 million people themselves can do this. We did it in the past when we had a can-do attitude. We didn't have all these investment firms coming from offshore when we were number one in the world, when we were building the number one economy in the world. This is a late idea, which is all about globalism, and the people of a country like ours get swamped on the way through. We got there ourselves thus far, and all of a sudden, here comes Santa Claus.
So what are your concerns about using BlackRock?
Well, my concerns have been the concerns of ever since Adam Smith wrote that book about capitalism. It is the suspicion that we're going to be used when we could have done it ourselves. I ask myself these questions. Would Singapore do this? Would Norway do this? Would some smart countries do this who have done far better than us lately? And the answer is no, they'll do it themselves, and I think we can as well, because we're not building something that's here today, gone tomorrow. It'll be around 50, 100 years from now, and that's why it's a sound investment for us.
Exactly.
Other people were talking about this too, but this video sums it up. It's just crazy, because I was talking to someone yesterday, and he was like, oh yeah, we're voting national. And I was like, dude, they're creating this shit. They're creating all these problems and saying how it's, oh, you know, it's very difficult. It's not difficult. Other countries have recovered from COVID, yet still we're struggling. They're creating these issues. They're and fucking lying to us. These cunts are psychos. They are fucking not well, man.
So that's why I'm still voting for someone who's considered on the right when there's a lot of controversy with the right now, or that's the so-called right. It's because I don't think he's actually the far right, I guess you could say, type of person. I think he's a genuine center-right type of person that wants things to actually get better and prosper and develop without it being done in a way that will destroy us later by taking in dodgy investments. Because I don't think he's the type of right-wing person that would stomp on the little guy. Like, he's really concerned about energy prices and how the cost of living is, and trying to get that down, and trying to find a genuine, like, maybe middle ground with all the climate crisis people, just to, like, look out for the poor, the people affected most by energy prices, just the poorer people. So that's one of the reasons why I'm voting for Winston Peters.